Jubei. So at the weekend, I took Alex to see this little Disney film called Zootropolis, Zootopia in some countries. I don't know why they make the distinction. And I'm gonna do a video about it because, ordinarily I do these videos when Alex is here, but we didn't have time for that at the time. And I've got far more to say about this because this movie, it's really smart, man. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. It's there are a lot of kids movies these days. I'm looking at Minions. I'm looking at the goddamn Chipmunks movies. I'm looking at the Smurfs movies that are just, these are not for adults. I will just sit here and mind my own business, and you guys watch this and enjoy. This is not that. There's a lesson here. There's a brain at work here. I really appreciated that. It's about this little rabbit who wants to grow up to be a cop in the big city in a sort of, they almost established, we get that they're anthropomorphic animals in this world. That's fine. We could just leave it at that. But then it was like they established that no, we evolved from how animals used to be, savage animals eating each other, to anthropomorphic animals wearing clothes, driving cars, living in buildings, all of that. So that they've got an explanation for once. Okay, cool. Arthur never had an explanation for why he was an aardvark that never looked like an aardvark, but whatever. She wants to go up, and she's got all these hurdles against her because there hasn't been a rabbit on the police force. All the police officers that are animals are big alpha males. They're like rhinos, wolves, lions, tigers. Oh my, bear. The tough mammals. They're only mammals. There's no birds or reptiles or amphibians or fish in this world, I guess, just to keep it simple. There's a distinction between predator class and prey class, which is sort of, you've got your predators, tigers, panthers, and you've got your prey, which would be voles, mice, monkeys, whatever. She's in the prey class. They're not usually cops. So she's a first. She sort of overcomes the obstacles. The chief of police, voiced by Idris Elba, has kind of got it in for her. He's like, listen, you've got 48 hours to find a missing find all these missing people. Otherwise, you hand in your badge to me. That's it. So that's the premise. So she has to team up with a fox who she's been warned against, by her parents. Oh, don't mess with foxes, to try, because he's got the street smarts and he can find the connections and so on, and she feels she's got to lead through him, and that's sort of all I can talk about without getting into spoiler territory. It's kind of like Chinatown for kids, it's a missing persons case, as a Disney movie, but what I was really impressed by is this is a story about prejudice. Now, it kind of feels like an after-school special. A rabbit and a fox team up and realize they're not all that different, But it is, like, repeatedly, it's prejudice, classism, racism, sexism. It's all dressed up as like speciesism. I mean, there's one point where like a snow leopard or whatever that animal was calls her, oh, aren't you so cute? She's like, oh, one rabbit can call another rabbit cute, but when another animal does it, and it's like, I see what you did there. So things like that are pretty cool. The world itself is amazing, kind of like Wreck-It Ralph. It's like the Disney brain trust of creating these little worlds full of like iconic animals. Zootopia is a zoo as a city, okay? It's just divided in, they established it's divided into its own little districts. You've got Tundra Town, the Rainforest City, or whatever, and it's nice how there's a little disconnect between, you go in a tunnel and you end up in a desert, or you end up underwater, or whatever. Pretty cool. So that's, it's a wonderful color palette that they're playing with, but it's just a really smartly written story. It's the right story for now. It's topical. It's about fear-mongering, prejudice, the responsibility of the police, and how just, it's not just bad people that can do this. Any person can open their mouth and say something that will either intentionally or not be viewed as prejudice or come across as discriminatory against one particular class of people. And this isn't a fucking Disney kids film, you know? So, but it's still a good time. The kids will still have a good time. One of the funniest moments is where they go to the DMV and they're all sloths. You'll bawl your eyes out. It's my god. But those are my thoughts on this surprisingly charming, intelligent, provocative Disney kids film called Zootopia or Zootropolis, depending on where you watch it. If you like this vid, please click like, subscribe, view, share, and all the usual jazz. My next video will be going up shortly. It's about 10 Cloverfield Lane. I'm going to watch it with Pettigrew tonight. I'll see you then.